1. And I'm going live on IG in what's up, YouTube fam?
Hey, YouTube fam.
Hey. Um,
Um,
we are about to go live on Instagram too.
um,
Here we go. 3,
um,
2, 1. What's up, Sax Gang?
you're,
Welcome to Office Hours.
I just,
Who
never mind.
who is watching? Jonathan's with us on YouTube. We are here. Nick is here. We're waiting for Leo on Instagram.
I'm,
Dead pixels in the house.
I just requesting.
Hey. Okay.
Um,
Crafty J 2020. What's up?
can I, may I please
No.
say,
Kidding.
let me, may I please say that, someone, a recommendation you made of a friend of yours, a saxophone player of yours that I had not checked out that is so freaking awesome. Sam Greenfield, right? That's his name.
Sam, yes.
Dude, like I saw the video game thing, so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I followed him, and one of the best follows I have ever had. What a great
Shout
player.
out Sam Greenfield.
What
He's
a
a
he's
beast.
he's amazing, but he also like throws in like the smooth licks, like you know what I mean? It's like for me, when it comes to the modern jazz, I need a little bit of smooth. I can't go full modern, you know? I
Yeah.
need like I need
Give
like
the hybrid.
I need the hybrid. I like the hybrid. Like that's why I love like Michael Brecker. Like you can't hear Leo. Oh my god.
Why?
Oh my.
He's just been miming the whole time.
Um.
We are on live. We are live on YouTube too as well.
Oh my god.
He's working on it, everybody, on Instagram.
I'm good now. I'm good now. So yeah. Anyways, I was just saying when it comes to like modern jazz or modern sax, whatever. Um, I like that stuff, but for my own personal taste, I need some type of hybrid when it comes to either kind of smooth or poppy or you know more like easy listening. You could say,
Yeah.
that
Sam
yeah,
Sam's bumping out some really fresh content too. It's like he's doing his visuals, I think, are fresh. The music sounds awesome. He's super cool, people. At some
it,
point, we should all meet
yeah.
and hang out and play.
I would be absolutely down. I mean, from the outsider's perspective, it looks like it's a whole team of people.
You know, it's incredible. I was talking to him. We were actually hanging out the other day, and he was saying that he learned all the technical stuff from the beginning of the pandemic. Like he'd never done any of the producing or mixing, and like he bumped out an album and he's doing all his visuals. I'm like, dude, it's incredible. Um, yeah, I was like, I think you put this time at home to good use.
Yeah. I,
Yeah, it'll be fun. We should all hang.
Yeah, I wanna do something. I've been, like, itching to do something more technically crazy on the
Mm,
sax, like,
mm,
something that's really, like, impressive just to be impressive, like, just on a
mhm.
personal level, like, just like like, that kinda, like, just something that's, like, really, like, worked out,
Yeah. You know,
you
I had
know?
this interesting thought the other day. I was watching, there was this cool band, brass band that was playing nearby where I live. They sounded fantastic, and of course, I'm blanking out on their name right now. I had put them in my story. All New York cats, and it was like the tenor player was just raging. It was just so good, and he was doing, like, these altissimo jumps. It kinda reminded me a bit about, like I feel like him and Augie Bello kind of approach tenor in similar, what I was listening to him play, I was like, "Oh, I feel like Augie has some phrases that kinda have these big leaps," and I just started thinking how I don't really ever I don't really think about, like, creating really flashy stuff, and I was like, "Huh, that might be a really good, interesting way for me to approach just, like, having that those things in my pocket to be able to play those type of really flashy solos." I think my favorite part of collaborating with other people is when somebody else is playing, like, if for example, if we're playing and you're playing something that's very flashy, like, it inspires me to try to do something that is cohesive and fits in that moment, but I just realized that for myself when I just play solo-wise, like, I don't really I feel like I don't really go there, but it would be a great thing to be able to go into, if that does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. We
Is
don't
anyone following? Yeah.
we don't play like our mission is not to be like impressive. Or I don't know if yours is, but mine hasn't been recently at least.
That is the case for me, yes. Oh, Marissa, thank you. She just said they're called flamingos. Yeah, have you heard of these guys?
No.
They sounded great. Um,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, we were just talking about a minute ago, everybody, the difference of like, you have some really, really impressive players and people, and then you pair them with, like, another person, and perhaps the musicality is missing, right? And then you have maybe in a case where 2 people are playing, there's super musicality, but then maybe there isn't all these impressive things, and I feel like the beauty when it comes to playing music with other people is getting to, like, create something together. Um,
Yeah, it, it it's interesting because you never know. The other side of it is you can make something that you feel like make something new with somebody else that like it just makes sense. It's just like one and one should just equal two. And then it can be a bit of a struggle when that different group of people isn't like doing really well as far as like popularity, and it's like it's hard to remember that like oh like you still have to start off and do all this stuff like me and Mike Wilbur's project like Thundersmack, like we've done so much stuff where it didn't feel like it really caught on the internet, or it didn't really even feel like we even were a band, even though we made the name. It just kind of felt like, not that serious, even though we had made a bunch of cool music.
yeah.
I think we just didn't have the confidence as a group, even though it made sense. And then it's like we just kind of tried this new style and it kind of popped on TikTok. And then all of a sudden, people are just taking it really seriously as a group. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like introduced the other day as like Leo from Thundersmack. I'm like,
Yeah.
from from Thundersmack. Like, that's just me and Mike getting together and like jamming, So it's also interesting how like you can have even if you do connect, it still doesn't necessarily just equal like popularity still. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
I was this is interesting because I feel like the things that pop off on the internet, are like, in a way, have to be more bold in your face versus if you're just in front of, like, 100 people and they're watching you, those 100 people could totally be entertained and enjoy it and give you a standing ovation, but you might put that same content out on the internet and, like, literally get no views on it, and I think what you and Mike have done a lot is and what you're speaking on is the experimentation, constantly evolving, changing, experimenting, and at some point, if something pops off, it's interesting that people then are like, "Oh, that's all they do."
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, "Well, we've actually been a band for, like, years," you know? Um,
Yeah,
but
it's like, "Oh, I love Thundersmack." I'm like, "Really?" Like, we've been, like, doing stuff for, like, yeah, a year like, 2 years or something, and, we just didn't it's not real until it's, like, viral or something,
yeah, I
you
mean, what
know?
is your advice? I was thinking the other day when I was thinking about content. This is an interesting question to me. It's like, what is your advice for someone that is like, um, trying really hard, bumping out tons of new content, being really consistent with it, and it's just not getting any traction? And it's good.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's not necessarily very different, but let's just say, for example, it's a saxophone player and they're like playing some stuff and it's groovy and they're doing like, practicing along with tracks and they have not hit mass following at this point, but nothing's popping off. Like what would your what'd you
It
say to those
ex
people?
I mean, one is I would say explore alternate outlets. I know, like, I think of like Mike. Mike is kind of being an example in my head. I mean, obviously he has Moon Hooch, which is a huge project that people love
And no.
and know. Um, but I feel like he wasn't able to really convert into his solo thing as far as like that popularity.
Yeah.
Um, and he has been making videos on Instagram with the bass acts and beats and stuff for like a long time. And he kind of just started putting a lot more energy into TikTok. And that's where he found, his following. And he almost has 100,000 followers on TikTok now. He's like
That's wild,
80,
dude.
80
That's
something. Like,
incredible.
so, and he has like 20,000 on Instagram. I hope I get these numbers right. I don't know. I think it's like 20,000 or maybe whatever.
Right.
Not as many. And um,
For him, it
that
was a new platform that really
yeah,
was like
it was a new platform and it was kind of a new style too. Like he kind of reinvented himself as more of a bass sax player. Um, and
yeah,
that is another way to like separate yourself. It's like by doing something new, doing something different. And so it's kind of like there's multiple things. Like one is find something that you really like, find something that is different, like your own thing.
yeah,
And
which takes that experimentation, you know?
yeah. And then, you know, just keep going at it and keep trying because he had plenty of videos before the first one that he really had that popped off was like got like 600,000 views on TikTok real fast. And that was, that's when it started and it kind of snowballed. And I just that was really inspiring to me because he actually stuck to it. Like,
Yeah, I noticed that he's, like, keeping that format.
yeah, and like I know for me, sometimes it's easy to just like be like, oh, like get down. If one video doesn't do well, like, oh, I should just stop or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess like um another thing I would say is just find something that you really love doing. Um, because like as far as like making content, because if you're just like copying other people and you don't really love it, like I feel like it's just not gonna happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
The other thing I think these are great pointers and Saxy Shane thing, that's what I've been doing for the past few months. I used to be a jazz musician, but I've completely changed the way I play my instrument. Yeah, and based upon your videos that you sent in last week, Saxy Shane, you're definitely up to some good stuff. The other thing I was thinking about, I was recommending to folks that maybe haven't hit that they haven't hit the numbers, the fans, nothing's quite popping off yet, is more of a documenting style on socials, which is if you are progressing towards something, you're working on a transcription, you're working on producing your music, kinda doing something more vloggy style where it's like, "Hey guys, I'm trying to get better at this thing. This is my journey." It's definitely more transparent. I think not everybody wants to be out there speaking and, like, being like, "What the frick am I doing?" And, "Hey, today I got better, today I got worse." But it's it's interesting, and this inspiration comes from Gary Vee, who is a dope entrepreneur, and I love his stuff. But it's interesting because then the people who are having those same challenges or questions will go to your page to, like, see how you're working something out or see what the process is or see you get better. So to me, that's, again, another piece of experimentation that's a very different style, um, that somebody could play with who's trying to gain more followers. Um,
Ye Yeah, and also just, like, don't underestimate, busking because not only is it good to, not only is it good as far as, like, getting yourself out there, getting practice, finding out what people like, finding out what people don't like, it's also constant content. So, like,
True.
okay, so, like,
Great
like,
point.
I've noticed I've been liking Augie's videos recently where it's, like, him and he's a little bit of him playing in the park,
He's
and then
busking a lot, I think, these days, right?
yeah, well, it looks
Yeah.
like it. Him, a little bit of him playing in the park, a little bit of shots of people in the park,
Yeah.
um, and, that's cool, and like, it serves 2 purposes, it's like 3 purposes. Like, 1, you're out there playing, people are, like, watching you, and you can interact with them and see what they like, see what they don't like. 2, you can film it yourself and get content out of that.
Yeah.
And then 3, other people will film it, and then the internet can just do its job, which is
True.
like completely what Too Many Zoos did on accident. I wouldn't say accident. I knew people were filming us and videos were getting popular, um, but it's something I didn't proactively do. I was just like, I just think we're gonna get a viral video if we just keep doing our thing.
Yeah, and there was one time we were on the train, I think we were filming 7 Train, and, the next day, my sister texted and she was like, "Your guys' videos went viral on Twitter," and Joseph Gordon-Levitt had just tweeted it out from somebody else who was sitting, I think, like a well-known film critic or writer, he was sitting, like, right across from us, and I think he was just filming and then put it on his Twitter. I'm like, "Wow, that's sick." You really don't know who's watching and, yeah, filming. That's I think those are great pieces of, you know, of thoughts. We wanna hear from you guys too. I mean, this is luckily, the world's opening up more now, and hopefully everyone gets vaccinated and we can be back to, like, being in groups of people, but that definitely, at least busking's outside with the fresh air, and it's a great way to also tell yourself, "I'm gonna go out from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m." Something about being in front of other people, like, you're gonna do the thing. It's just way easier to get distracted, I feel, if you're just in your room and, like, on your phone, computer, but it's like people watching you, you gotta do the thing.
Yeah, it's just throwing you into the deep end. Um, and
Yeah.
yeah, nothing but respect. I miss the subway days. Because the thing is, I just don't really like busking outside nearly as much. The subway makes the sound so great. Like, it just is so big and boomy and loud and, like, effortless. When, like, when I've been busking outside, it just it's so unforgiving. It's so
Mm,
difficult, um, as far as sound and bounce back and just my own personal, like, enjoyment is just not the same. I do really miss that, uh that, environment.
yeah. We were out together creating some videos outside the other day, and I was like, I forgot how so many of the outside factors of just the wind, and then, like, my nose is running, and then just something might happen with a person. I mean, it's very interesting on video. I think that's what people love watching, kind of these outdoor things, but when you're actually trying to play, it definitely makes it harder, um, to be able to have any type of consistency. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. People are saying this is some great advice and, very hip.
Is my sound working? For some reason, the comments aren't showing on my
Yeah, it sounds great.
Okay, cool.
And shout out to Orange Bananas, by the way. I think maybe he's still here with us. Orange Bananas was in the house. I know he's been doing some musicking with Augie. Um,
I'm orange grapes today.
dude, the hair is awesome. It looks so good.
Thanks, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's I really like the the style of the
Yeah.
of the
What else is orange and purple? Is there like a fruit that's or like I'm trying to think of what pops to my nothing's like popping to mind right now when I think
yeah
orange and purple. What
it's a
are
cool combo, but I can't really think of.
right? Do you guys have anything? What is orange and purple?
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. Well, that's even cooler then. It's very unique.
Yeah,
Oh, orange banana is in the house. So, okay, while you guys think about orange and purple, let's watch a video. Somebody said you look like a plant. I do not know an orange and purple plant, but I would love to know what that is.
it's probably a flower that's orange and purple. I
True.
might think.
True, true, true. Okay. So, we are going to take a listen to oh, sorry, I'm just very fascinated. People are saying a dinosaur. Jackie McLean. I don't think Jackie McLean had purple and orange hair. I kid, I kid. They were saying, "Do you like Jackie McLean?" Yes. Orange and grapes. The Mets. Tide. Oh my god, a Tide Pod.
Oh, that's right. That is so.
I'm
That is
done.
so right.
That's
That is what it
amazing.
is. That is what it is. A Tide Pod.
You're a Tide Pod.
That's what it is.
Oh my god, that is just so funny. Okay, sorry, just a couple more, and then we'll watch video. Clemson Tigers, a flower. What do we have on YouTube? The Joker.
Ooh.
Joker's combo.
I do look like a Batman villain, like for sure. It's like, Batman.
Toronto Raptors vibes.
Yeah, I actually got the Toronto.
Wait a minute.
I actually
What is going on?
may I say, like, I don't really like the new Toronto Raptors logo, but I got the OG one.
Hey. Oh,
Love
that's
it.
really cool.
It's very
That does go
similar.
with your hair.
It's
Yeah.
very similar. I mean, it's a little more red, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think this is the OG Raptors logo. I think it's amazing.
I love that you have that. You always like you probably already have all the clothes that match the new colors, right? You don't have to like go out and get. It seems like you're equipped with the
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I
You're
got
more than equipped.
well, one sec.
We should just rename these streams to Leo's like clothes show and tell.
I'm even like ready for the fade. Like when it fades a little
Dude,
bit, it's gonna be,
you're ready for the fade.
I'm
Oh
ready
my
for the fade.
god, that's really good.
Right? Right? You know what
You
I'm
just
saying?
had those?
I just have these are the Gatorade dunks actually. They're limited edition. If you can see the Gatorade logo,
That is next level.
it's actually the grape Gatorade dunks. They came out with them like 2 years ago, and I
Wow.
I bought the 3 years ago. I
That is
bought the
so cool.
I bought the purple, and I don't think I think I've only worn them a few times. I mean, they're a little scuffed up, but
That literally goes so well.
yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. All right. So let's take a listen to this is actually at Loop Story. He submitted in all right. I'm going to play this at Loop Story. Let's see what you got. All right, at Loop Story. I smell some Adele.
You smell Adele?
The stars are young, remind me of us. I couldn't hurt it all. Yeah, I smell Adele.
Yep.
Just because that rhymes. Bravo.
Yeah, Rolling in the Deep.
Rolling in
Rolling
the
in
Deep.
the Deep.
Throwback. That's great. Remember when that song was just everywhere?
Yeah, I think it is like it goes into the category of like songs that I briefly like could not listen to because it was like too like you know what I mean? I think I have like I think it's like 1,000 times. If I hear a song 1,000 times in like a few months, I can't listen to it.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. But it's fresh now because it
you're right. It is fresh now. It's
good
fresh
time
now.
to do it now, yeah.
It's fresh now.
Let's dig
Um,
into this. What do you think?
I think it sounds good. I really like the beat. It's fun. I love the jacket. I love the look. I love the vibe. I could use a little more articulation in
Mhm.
general. I think that would make it a little more interesting. And I could almost use a little bit more ornamentation, a little more something to spice it up or change it up. It felt like a good cover of the song. Like you're playing the melody, it was recognizable. But I just think it might be cool if it was a little bit different, a little bit more of your own version. And in general, I could just use more articulation.
Those are great pointers. I think, with this is the tricky thing with covers, and everybody's gonna have their own opinions on what is, what's a good rendition of a cover, but I think, um do you wanna give were you about to give an example?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
curious how you would approach, when we talk about embellishments, this is a great
like
thing to dig into.
yeah, like I don't I know this is like the wrong key and I don't really know the song, but it's like I get like something like that, just like a little bit like instead of like well, I would say his version was more like and
Right.
so I could use some embellishments. So like with for example, like I'm playing the wrong key, but whatever. Um like the first note I'm kind of like doing like a bend into it, like and then I'm just kind
Mm,
of doing two staccato notes to be a little more powerful.
yeah.
Yeah, love.
Dude, I
Um,
hear that as an intro. I feel like that should just loop. Do 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 do, and then like it's so catchy, and then it could go into it.
yeah. Uh,
Um. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, again, that's a stylistic choice. It's not something that you have to do by any means. But I think that changed it up a little bit, and it's kind of making use of the saxophone as opposed to the voice, because it's like your love, like you're not gonna like be singing like that necessarily. So it's kind of a different take on it, but I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, love that, and that really is great pieces of words of advice for covering any cover. At Loop Story, I thought your visual presentation was a 10 out of 10. Really fantastic. I don't know if you're doing this on Twitch or what platform, but great, by the way, everybody, that he had his virtual tip jar and Venmo listed at the bottom and it was just moving that entire time. I imagine this is clip from his live stream. He did have like different um boxes showing the keyboard station, the DJ station, and then he had his logo on top with his name, Loop Story. People often forget how important it is to have your name up. So that was great. The Starry Night background was really like lovely. I feel like he put a lot of effort into the visual, which is such an important element these days. Jacket looked great, vibe looked great, and it's a very catchy thing these days to be like DJing and playing and be a self producer like that. I think something fresh that you could think about musically is having, like, little interludes and really layering some saxophone stuff there, you know, I in case of a cover, you can break it up however you want. You could do you could play just the first A, and then you could go into an interlude, like something that's just coming to mind right now might be like, "Ow! Ow!" And, you know, and you could, like, stack some horns, and then maybe you go into and maybe you keep something like the saxes going, you know, a layered vibe. But I think you could also play around with changing the tempo on this because this is the tempo of the original, and I always love hearing covers like really something fresh. Like, can you imagine if you put a trap beat and something like slower? Be interesting.
Yeah, like
Um,
bum bum ba dum boom bum
yeah,
bum 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 bum. Yeah,
yeah, and be like da, 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 boom. Like something. And I feel like that kind of goes back to what we're saying about having a fresh take and experimenting when it comes to content. Um, Something like that can be a very, you know, you put a cover up on YouTube and it's something very different. Like, look at the band Postmodern Jukebox. It's kind of made a whole career out of really changing up the genres and the way that you would approach a cover song.
yeah,
Um, they're really great. I mean, uh, he's
yeah. Like
definitely got his stuff put together.
yeah, it could be a repeated thing, and I was thinking that could go into a build like the
Yeah. Turn the beat up. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, hey, sick.
just something like a variation.
I'm
That,
into
that
it.
sounds
Yeah.
really cool low, actually. I really like
It sounds good on the baritone. Yeah.
that.
Just thought of Adele as a super baritone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome.
yeah. Yep.
Really cool. All right, you guys. Well, as always, we love seeing your videos. For those who are on YouTube and don't see our Instagram posts, you can always send in your 1 minute clips via DM to us at We Are Too Saxy, and we make sure to save those videos for future reviews. So you can send them in anytime. For those of you who do not know, we are building out a virtual saxophone school, and we're currently in beta. If you'd like to join the waiting list, we're opening up some seats currently, and you can apply via the link in our bio. Um, yeah.
Also, I just put it on my story too. If you want to go to my story, if that's easier, feel
Uh,
free.
yeah, awesome. We look forward to seeing you guys. Somebody said they're going to join us for orientation for Saxy School tomorrow. Beautiful. I think that's all for now.
Yeah. Let me just. I want to just. Can I just show you guys a jacket that matches? Cool.
Let's keep this wardrobe tour going. Yes, let's see the jacket. Dude, the Tide Pod, I'm gonna be laughing about that all day. Wow. Yes.
You see me showing up. I'm like, what's up?
Wow. That is a phenomenal jacket. How the heck do you have like a freaking baller orange leather furry jacket? Where is that from?
I got it in like. Honestly, it was so funny. It was in like a used electronics shop. Like it was a thrift shop, but like it was like a pawn. It was a pawn shop, but it was all electronics. There was only one piece of clothing in the entire store,
And it was
and
that?
and this is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and
What?
it was just here. It was just that was it. Like everything else was like CDs or video games or whatever. It was I think there's some jewelry, but it was the only piece of clothing in the entire pawn shop.
Dude, that's so random.
I know. I know. It's
And
great.
it was meant for you.
Yeah. and it's not real leather or fur either. So so it's like vegan in that regard.
It's a vegan orange, one of one of a kind, hanging out in an electronic shop type of jacket.
Yep. Yep.
That looks so good. Orange is such a vibe. I really like this color on you. It's like
Thanks.
you
Yeah.
look like a a a cat.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to be a cat. So
Yeah, it's just like bringing something out within your face and just like I think with the swoop and then with the fuzziness,
yeah.
you look like a baller pimpin' cat, like a lion or a jaguar or something. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, great to see you.
Yeah. Great to see you too.
And we'll see those of you who are joining us for Saxy School tomorrow. And everyone else have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll see you at the next one.
All right. Peace.
Bye.